Hello, I am Jerry Roberts.
And I'm Martin Chrysalis.
And we are engineers.
And so am I.
And we represent a firm called Correct Engineering Solutions. That is our jingle. You may recognise that as the major scale.
That's right. It represents the major scale of the projects that we take on.
And we would like to congratulate you as potential investors streaming live from all around the globe.
You're here because you're willing to bypass the traditional gatekeepers of engineering and get your innovation raw and unfiltered straight from the source.
To suckle it direct from the teat of innovation.
To guzzle it still warm straight from the nipple of possibility.
And that makes the engineering establishment scared of losing their power to decide what is and what is not possible, their power to dictate whom should get out of my office now, the pair of you.
That's right. Anyone who comes up with anything new, the engineering establishment rejects and pushes out. Or worse yet, they make you one of them, assimilate you, strip away everything that makes you you. It's happened to many an engineering partner of mine. That's why I'm so lucky to have met Jerry here. That's a photo of us there.
This is actually a photo of us there.
That's right. I remember when I met Jerry, he was just a lost young man living on the street where his house was. I remember he had a little stall on the corner where he was selling his art, and I picked up one of his wares. It was this, a double-ended torch.
So you can see where you're going when you're telling a scary story.
I grabbed it and I said, Jerry, this is brilliant, but what you've created here, this isn't art. What you've created is called engineering.
Well, that day changed my life. You see, I'd grown up in a family of artists, and up until that point I hadn't realised that engineering was something you could do for a profession. I just thought it was something that you did for the love of it, to express yourself. See, I'd made that torch in response to a terrible incident wherein my father, an artist, had been leading a troupe of other artists through the woods at night while telling a scary story, and, unable to see where he was placing his feet, he had plunged over a cliff. And after that, he was never the same.
Because he was dead. Yes, I took young Jerry under my wing that day. I was wearing a chicken costume at the time as part of a proposal for an engineering project that unfortunately never went ahead.
Hard to believe, but tonight's project will go ahead, yes, because this is MAGMA. Yes, these hats will be available from our online store.
Now, don't be afraid if you don't understand everything that we're talking about tonight right away.
That's right. We are engineers, and we have thought about these things a great deal, whereas you are only hearing these ideas for the very first time.
That's right. It's like if you were to introduce me to your dad and you were to say, this is my dad. And I'd go, wait a second, what are you talking about? That's not my dad. You see, because I don't have all the information in my head just yet. But then, over time, you explain more to me that there are other people called dad, right? But then I go, oh yeah, but then why not call yours something else to avoid confusion? And so on and so forth, until eventually you apologise and you realise why mine is the one true dad. But what I hadn't explained is that Dad is also my son's name. And I was wondering if you could help me with my father, Dad. You see, we're not on speaking terms at the moment, because apparently he doesn't want to have anything to do with a guy who calls his son Dad. But I said, Dad, I named him after you. But he's not responding to my emails, and I'm finding it very distressing.
Beautifully put, Martin.
Oh, thanks, Jerry.
Another way to look at it is that getting an idea into somebody's head is a lot like getting a ship into a bottle. You know, it won't get in there if you just take the fully formed ship and just ram it into the bottleneck. But, a little bit will get in there, and if you just keep smashing them together over and over and over again, eventually it will all get in there. It won't look like a ship anymore, sure, but now it's the bottle's problem. Now, at this point in the presentation, we do get a lot of people asking, do I have to be an engineer to understand this presentation? And we would like to reassure you all that no. No, the feedback we have had thus far is that that doesn't help.
And we have worked very hard to extract any technical jargon from this presentation and to present the concepts in such a way, and I hope this doesn't sound insulting, that even you could understand.
Okay, so let's start with a basic question. What is MAGMA?
But before we can answer that question, first we must be able to answer the question, what is what. Now, what is like a thing version of where. It's kind of like who, but for stuff.
Okay, so now we know what is. Now we can tackle the question, what is. Well, it's easier for me to tell you what isn't. Isn't. Okay.
Now we have the mental toolkit to answer the question, what is magma? Now, we already know that magma isn't what or is. But what is it? Well, magma is like a hot, sloppy rock. But what is rock? Well, rock is like a dry, hard magma.
And this liquid solid rock that we call magma is also the nectar of infinite possibility. It contains within it all the ingredients you need to build a new world. How so? Well, allow me to demonstrate. Look around you. Everything your eye touches, your eyelid, that lubricating liquid on your eyeball, but also the things that you can see. Those were all once part of the earth, which was once magma, and so it's proven it's all in there. But you might be wondering, well, with so much potential inside the earth, why don't we just live there? Well, the only reason that we don't is because we can't, and so we are confined to these dry bits of crust that stand high above the Earth's oceans, but those are limited in size and becoming crowded.
That's right. Scientists predict that as the population increases, the space between us decreases, until eventually we will become so crammed together that our skins will fuse together, creating one huge multi-headed super blob that spans from coast to coast. And that's what we in the engineering field call a problem.
Yes, but fortunately, problems are engineers' business. Solving them, that is, not making them. Making problems, you're thinking of architects.
Architects. Yuck.
Architects, they're all like, I think the building should be an inverted pyramid made entirely out of water. You figure it out.
No, you know what I think? I think that it would be great if the pyramid wasn't touching the ground in any way. You work it out.
Well, you know what architects are always like? They're like, you know what I think would look good? I think it would look good if all the pipes were on the outside. But I don't want you to be able to see them. But I do want you to be able to tell that they're there via some as yet undiscovered human sense.
You know what I think would look really good? Yes, is that if the building won a bunch of awards. You work it out.
That's architects for you. All they care about is what something looks like, its form, when what really matters is whether or not it is functional. Even the best architects, they'll tell you, well, form should follow function. But we say, if function's so good, and it is, then why have any form at all? Why not just have more function? Take something like the iPhone. The iPhone. So that's got that screen on the front there, that bit there. That's nice. That's useful. That's functional. But then all the other sides, there's like 6 other sides or something. They've just gone with this pleasingly curved form when that space could have been used for more function. Down one side you could have a roll of doggy poo bags.
Maybe down the other you could have yourself a nice block of knives.
Yeah, or a strip of dirt so you can plant some alfalfa.
There you go. Or, maybe on one end you could have a bottle opener.
Yes.
Down the other end, bottle of wine.
There you go.
That way, if ever you find yourself deep in the Serengeti, you won't be without something nice to drink.
But that's form for you. Giving something form is a way of admitting that you've run out of ideas for how to make it functional.
That's right. Form is in many ways the coward's function.
Exactly. That's actually how Martin here got me involved in this project. I'll never forget this. He called me out one day. He called me up. He said, Jerry, I've got one word for you. Magma. And I said, I'm interested, but I have one question. Will it have any form? Because I don't want to be involved if it has any form whatsoever. And on that day, I'll never forget this, he said, sure, I don't see how that could be a problem. And he gave me a solemn engineering oath, and here we are.
Yes, I was quite emphatic that day, wasn't I?
Yes, you were, Martin. I appreciate that.
Good, yes, I just hope that doesn't become a problem.
I don't see how it could. Okay, so, problems. Yes, there are always going to be problems. That is one of the problems.
But luckily, we found a solution to that problem. Solutions.
So it's not a problem. But this relationship between solutions and problems, that's why when you meet someone in the street and they're like, I've got so many problems, well, that's why you got to follow up with that question, don't you?
Well, how many solutions have you got?
That's right, because if it's equal than or greater to the number of problems, then Martin, you're golden.
Oh, I thought this was going to be a whinge. Turns out it's a bloody boast.
Oh, I've got 99 problems and a solution to problem ratio greater than 1.
That's why tonight we're going to do some live problem solving for you.
Yes, some live engineering.
You don't get to see that very often.
No.
Live engineering, no, it's often hidden behind closed doors. But tonight, you are also behind that closed door, allowing you to see it.
And get a real good look. Yes, and what is the problem we'll be solving for you tonight? Why, only one of the biggest problems going. The problem of maths. Yes, maths. Now, if maths has a problem, and it does, it's that it doesn't work at all.
That's right, you can't trust it.
Totally unreliable, exactly. Allow us to give you a demonstration. Well, okay, Martin, say you're staying at a hotel.
Oh, how delightful. When?
Oh, you're staying from the 3rd to the 5th, Martin. Now, tell me, how many days are you staying?
3rd to the 5th. Well, allow me to just work that out using the devil's addition, subtraction. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. I am staying there 2 days.
Okay, well, Martin, sounds good to me, but I wouldn't be an engineer if I didn't check it. So allow me to check that using the power of counting. You're staying the 3rd. You're staying the 4th. You're staying the 5th. Oh dear, I count 3 days. You see, maths does not work.
Yes, but luckily, we have found the source of the problem.
Yes. What's the source of the problem? It's 0.
0.
What's wrong with 0? Well, it's nothing.
It's nothing.
It's nothing. There's nothing there. It's.
But you treat it like it's something.
Exactly. We give it a number. You know, we give it the validity. It's so craves.
That's right. You dignify it with a digit.
Yes, you dignify it.
That's
exactly.
right. 0. That's the only problem that you can legitimately blame on the Arabs.
You can say, oh, thanks for nothing. And you'd be right.
You know what 0 is? 0 is like when there's somebody in your pantry.
Oh, I'm in your pantry, Martin. Hello?
And you go, excuse me,
Hello?
how many things are there in my pantry?
Hold on, Martin. I'll just count them for you. All right. 1. There's 1 thing in your pantry, Martin.
Oh, excellent. What is it?
Nothing.
Oh, 0!
So we've gotten rid of 0, right? Now all the numbers move down 1. So 1 is now 0, 2 is now 1, 3 is now 2, and so on and so forth. Or, in the new system, so on and so third.
Right. So now, let's redo that equation again using the new system. All right, 5 minus 3, 5, that's now 4, minus 3, that's now 2, is equal to 2. Oh, still doesn't work.
Oh no, oh, seems like we haven't solved anything at all. Oh no!
But you know what happened, right? Because you did it wrong.
You did it wrong.
You used the new system the whole way through. You've got to start in the old system. That's a big part of the new system. All right, so this time let's do it again, correctly. All right, 5. Now that's in the old system, so that's 5. Minus, now that's the sign to kick into the new system, all right? So to 3, which is now 2, and is equal to 3, which is back into the old system.
Sounds good to me, Martin, but I wouldn't be an engineer if I didn't check it. And the great thing is it doesn't matter if you check it in the old system or in the new system, it is still going to work. So in the old system, we had the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, that was 3 days. But in the new system, that 3, that's 2, so that's 1. That 4, that's 3, so that's 2. And that 5, that's 4, so that's 3. You see, we've fixed maths.
You're welcome.
You're very much welcome, yes. Oh. But that might sound a little unusual to you. You might listen to something like that and you might think, how do you come to a solution like that? Well, we'd like to reassure you that everything that we come up with tonight is based on a very sound principle of engineering developed by none other than my friend and colleague and mentor and friend, Mr. Martin Chrysalis here.
How you going? Yes, well, the time-saving principle that Jareth here is referring to is known as the BDTC principle, or put otherwise, the Badger Dick Tie Clip principle. And of course this principle harks back to the 1800s when a gentleman would tie down his tie using a clip made from the bone of a badger's penis.
Yes, a very true fact.
That's right.
Yes, but you might be wondering, well, how do you discover such a thing? How do you even begin to think to look in a badger's penis for a tie clip? Well, allow us to set the scene.
It's evening. You and your beloved are going out for a soiree at the ambassador's residence.
You're dressed to the nines.
Or in the new system, the 8s.
Now you step outside, what's the first thing you notice? Oh, it's windy. Oh, your tie is flapping around all over the place. You think to yourself, well, I've got to get something to tie this down. But then you realise, well, it's cold. My beloved, she's freezing. The ambassador's waiting. You know what he's like. I don't have a lot of time to muck about here, but I do not have the first clue where to begin looking for such a tie clip. But then you think to yourself, well, when you're looking for something, where do you find it every single time?
In the last place you look.
And so why not look there first? And where is the last place that you would look for a tie clip?
Inside the penis of a badger.
And so you make a grab for the lad, and sure enough, in there is a clip-shaped dick bone just waiting to be worn. And that is the badger dick tie clip principle.
Always look in the last place you would look first.
And now, Martin, we always rush through this bit of the presentation, and I'm not going to let that happen again tonight, because I just want to take a moment to slow down and to celebrate you and to thank you and to hold you up and to compliment you on the way in which that I feel that this principle, the BDTC principle, has revolutionised not only the field of engineering, but also the field of my life. So, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Jerry, and may I compliment you on the way that I feel that you have revolutionised giving compliments, mostly by making them longer.
Thank you very much. But of course, these good people tonight aren't watching to find out about innovations in new forms of compliments.
No, of course not. But if you are, welcome.
Welcome. And may we compliment you on your ability to sniff out a compliment investment opportunity in a presentation about MAGMA, which is what this is absolutely still about. Yes, MAGMA, and how we can use that most magical of all fluids to solve the most vexed of all problems. We are running out of land, yes!
Right, so let's apply the BDTC principle to the problem of running out of land.
Okay.
Now, Jerry, what is the last solution you would come up with to the problem of running out of land?
Easy, Martin. For me, that would be placing custard powder in the ocean so that it becomes a non-Newtonian fluid and therefore an inhabitable surface, as long as everybody is constantly tap dancing.
Ah, yes, river dance.
Yes.
It worked for the Irish, but we have to take into account those people who are unable to river dance or unwilling.
Yes, indeed.
And so we have to go to the second last solution. And to my mind, that is to go out into the ocean, drill into the ocean floor, extract the magma there within, and form a volcanic island on which we can all live.
Now we know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, won't that be hard?
No,
this is based on something that already occurs in nature. Islands are already formed in nature via the ancient and beautiful process of volcanoes vomiting all over themselves.
A process that we can easily recreate using the existing technologies of going places, drilling things, and squirting stuff.
Exactly. Now, though, to prove to you that we have done our due diligence, we have broken this down into an 8-step process. We will go out, drill down, stick a pipe down there, get magma up the pipe, stick a nozzle on the pipe, point the nozzle wherever you want, squirt magma out of the nozzle and build anything you want. You see, we've thought about this.
But if that sounds a little bit too complicated for some of you, well, we can also explain that using no words whatsoever. Yay!
You see, and if that's not complicated enough for you, how about we give it to you using only one word? That.
They developed in-house
That.
aquamarine.
That.
Therefore,
That.
the pressure inside the
That. That.
You just want to make sure that's
That. And that. You see, we've thought about this. Now, don't be scared. It's very natural at this point in the presentation to feel a slight creeping terror, isn't it? And what's that? Well, it's all frighteningly feasible, isn't it? It's all terrifyingly close to reality. You know, when something is so possible, you could reach out and touch it like that, what do you feel? You feel the shock of the new.
And those of you who are married will recognise that feeling from your wedding night. I know I do. Remember that first night where you come home with your beloved, you know, and they close the door and they look into your eyes and they say, honey, I am ready to share all of myself with you. And then they take you by the hand and lead you down the hall into the garage where you find tubs stacked up to the ceiling, and they open them up and inside is dead skin and hair and nails and teeth that they've shed throughout their life and collected and saved for that one special someone. And then they encourage you to run your fingers through it and familiarise yourself with their body, or at least what used to be their body. And sure enough, 9 months later, yeah, you're still having nightmares, but that relationship has never gone stronger. And so, as you can tell from my relatable anecdote, things that might appear scary at first always have a positive outcome.
Beautifully put, Martin.
Thanks, Jerry.
I can't wait to be married. And what is that outcome that we are offering tonight? Why? Only a fully customisable volcanic paradise. Yes, a blank slate. Although slate is a metamorphic rock, so this will probably be more like blank pumice.
And don't let the hellish smell of sulphur confuse you. This place will be heaven on earth.
Yes, a heaven to which we can guarantee that we will get you, the investor customers. How so? Well, only by solving all the problems that blight us in this nightmare reality in which we are all currently trapped.
That's right, and we will do that by solving all of the problems on the human hierarchy of needs. Now, those of you who are not familiar with how to read the pyramid of needs, basically it states that you've got to eat more homeostasis than you do morality, which is more of a sometimes treat.
But of course, the pyramid of needs is merely a subset of the trapezoid of wants. That's the trapezoid of wants there, and say you're coming from this direction here, take a look at it. You can't get anywhere near those needs because all the wants are in the way, gumming you up. And so those are what we will tackle first.
That's right, and these are not the big problems, these are the little problems, the little things that wear away at your soul.
Erode your psyche, exactly. People might say, well, how do you know what to tackle first? Well, we say it's just like that old saying about your first day in prison. What do people say about your first day in prison? Well, people say, first day in prison, you've got to go up to the biggest guy in there and you've got to get him to give you a boost so that you can fix that light in the hall that's been flickering, driving everybody nuts. Suddenly, everyone's attracted to Mr. Solutions over here, and so those are the things that we will tackle first, and this is actually where I was very fortunate to be given an opportunity to prove myself by my mentor and friend and mentor, Mr. Martin Chrysalis.
How you going? Yes, you know, Jerry really took these problems and he really ran with them, and I got to tell you, he solved these problems in a way that I don't think I could have when I was his age 6 months ago.
Well,
you know, and you got to compliment the people in your life. You know, you got to tell them that you care about them because, you know, the engineering establishment will just do everything it can to rip away your beloved colleagues from you. And so just tell people in your life that you love them.
well, all right, okay. Well, thank you very much, Martin. And here is my my 3-point hit list of minor wants that we will tackle day one on the island. Here we go. Okay, point 1 on my 3-point hit list. All right. We all carry a heavy burden, do we not, on a daily basis in the silent knowledge that the alphabet is not in alphabetical order. Okay? You know, take a look at it. Okay? That's the order there. That's the order that we all know and tolerate. Okay? But if you were to look up these letters in the dictionary, you'd find that each of these letters is actually a word. Now, take a look at those words. They're not in alphabetical order. And so what we have done is simply rearrange the alphabet to put those words in alphabetical order, which leads us to this order here. A, H, R, B, C, Q, D, W, E, F, L, M, N, S, X, G, I, J, K, O, P, T, U, V, Y, Z. Now I know my A-H-R, twinkle, twinkle, little star.
You see, and that's one of those little problems that, you know, you can take home with you, and someone goes, well, why would I go to this volcanic island? And you say, well, they put the alphabet in alphabetical order, and they'll say, well, great, I'll be on the next flight.
There you go. Okay, and point 2, there are too many gods. Yes, religion is complicated, is it not? Mostly on account of the large number of gods that are difficult to keep track of. But fortunately, Martin and I, we were able to put our heads together and identify the common denominators, the 2 common denominators of all denominations, the 2 things that all gods have in common. And those are...
Well, they bring you comfort.
Yes.
And there's someone that you can talk to.
Exactly. And we discovered that you could get exactly the same effect from a large doona with an ear sewn onto it. And so that will be your new god.
That's right. Everyone will get one first day.
Day 1 on the island. Here's your god here in this bag, you know. First wash separately or whatever.
Yeah, do not dry clean.
Exactly.
You know, all the commandments will be on the little tag.
Exactly. Okay, and now point 3, the 5 would fall over. Okay, take a look at it. You all know what I'm talking about. That's the 5 there. Take a look at that. That's an unstable equilibrium. That's going to go down like that.
Clearly a number that was designed by an architect.
Oh, absolutely, if ever I saw one. So what we will do at day 1 on the island, we'll petition whomsoever is in charge of the numbers, there's got to be somebody, to turn the 5 upside down, taking advantage of that beautiful flat base there, probably the way it was supposed to go in to begin with, until some bloody contractor installed it wrong. You know what they're like. But now take a look at that 5. Doesn't that put you in mind of a beautifully engineered number, the 2? You know, oh, that's an engineer's number if ever I saw one. Reminds me, of course, of my favourite letter, the Q, because I always think that the Q looks a lot like somebody was trying to design an O, but it kept rolling away. So they got an engineer in, and he said, well, you just got to give it a little leg.
A kickstand.
A little kickstand, exactly. Okay, but of course, once you start looking at the digits like this, you realise that they're all a nightmare, structurally speaking. And so we have redesigned all the digits so that they would stand up to, say, a strong gust of wind. Starting with the 1, that was easy, so we just extended the shaft down into the earth there. I assume the line represents the ground. The 3, we've tipped over onto its side, so it looks like some buttocks poking up through a hole in the ground. The 4, well, now the 4 is interesting because the 4 looks a lot like the sail of a boat. It's strongly implied that there's a boat under there, and so we have just made the boat explicit. The 5 obviously will turn upside down. The 6 we discovered we could support with a gantry system, taking advantage of that handy hook at the top there. The 7 could be cantilevered with a second inverted 7 mounted under the ground. Or the 8, well, my old nemesis, the 8. I actually had a lot of trouble with the 8, and this is where I am so lucky to be able to turn to someone like my friend and mentor and friend, Mr. Martin Chrysalis, and get some help.
Well, you know, when you look at the 8, you can see it's a real problem because it could, could fall either way like that, you know. And so my thinking was that maybe we could just sandwich it between 2 bollards, you see, just like that. And but then, of course, your mind goes to that 3rd dimension and you think, well, you know, that 8 could just fall forward or backwards like that. And so my thinking was we could just put a bollard behind it and 1 in front of it. But of course, you see the new problem now. You can't see the 8.
Can't see it.
You know, so I'm thinking maybe we're going to write something on the front of the bollard to let people know there's an 8 back there. So I'm thinking the words, "There's an 8 back here."
There's an 8 back here. You know.
Why would I lie?
Why would I lie?
You know, I'm a bollard.
I'm a bollard. Here I am, a bollard, somehow given the precious gift of sentience. And what is the first thing I choose to do with my conscious mind? Lie.
Lie. Go to the dark side.
Yes.
What could his motivation possibly be?
Exactly, right. And the 9 will just lower down and set into some concrete. And that is the minor scale wants sorted out. But of course you will notice, looking at those wants, that we solved all of them without even touching magma.
Which you shouldn't do, by the way.
No, you're going to want to.
My God, you're going to want to.
But don't.
No, it's very much stripper rules. It can touch you, but you cannot touch it.
Exactly, but when it comes to solving those needs, that is where magma is going to come into its own. And fortunately, on this island, magma is going to be something that we have in abundance.
Man and magma will live side by side as equals.
As equals, finally, yes. Yes, if you want to picture it, imagine Venice, but with magma.
Yes, with magma in place of the water, not the buildings or the people.
Of course, yes. But what is the first need that we will tackle on this island?
The first need we will tackle is shelter. Now, the problem of shelter will be solved using our patented magma squirty pipe, which we can use to 3D print any shelter that you so desire.
Now, we know what you're thinking. Won't it be hard to work with because it's so hot? Well, the short answer is no. And the long answer is yes. Okay.
Now, they say that you can't build a great building without a strong foundation of bedrock. But our thinking is, if the foundation's so good, why have the building at all? Why not build the whole thing at a foundation?
Well, then you could have an entire family living in bedrock.
Yes, a modern Stone Age family.
How so, Martin?
Well, allow me to demonstrate by showing you what's in the standard apartment package. It contains Youth lost notice boards or mirrors, a labial or half-labial opening for every room, a blanket and towel depository, food and heating expanse, drowsiness encouraged cubicles, a car-free pedestrian walkway to rooms, bending and defecating rectangle, airflow portholes, dining room, overhead rain blocking aids, and oh, you best believe there'll be taps.
Ah, yes, the Yabba Dabba Doo package.
That's right.
But even within a home so good as the Yabba Dabba Doo package, there are still going to be problems, are there not?
That's right.
What is the biggest problem, Martin? What is the biggest problem in the home? Well, I'll tell you. It's when you're hungry, but there's only one thing in the house.
Oh, what is it?
Nothing.
Oh, zero!
But this is one of those problems that we think could be solved using taps.
That's
yes, taps.
Now, we all used to have to leave the house to get water, but these days it is brought into our homes via taps.
And this is where, as engineers, we have spotted a pattern and therein an opportunity. Because what kinds of taps do we currently have coming into our home?
Well, we have a gas tap. We've got a liquids tap. And so, what's the next thing in the pattern?
A solids tap.
So our idea is to pipe solid food directly into the home so you don't have to go out to go to the shops.
That's right.
Now, the question is, what kind of food travels well through a pipe? Well, allow me to give you a little hint. That's right, sausages.
So every house will have a tap dispensing fresh running sausages. Now, we know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, there are so many different types of sausages. Won't you need multiple taps? No, we will simply have different types of sausage emerge from the tap at different times of day.
That's right, starting in the morning with, say, a nice breakfast chipolata.
Then perhaps a hot Hungarian salami.
Then maybe a nice Latvian bratwurst.
Maybe a cheese kransky.
Maybe a Woolworths chicken sausage.
Sure. Maybe a Coles chicken sausage.
You know, maybe a nice Frankfurt.
Or if you're feeling formal, a Francisfurt.
You know, and then maybe a nice dessert chorizo.
And then at 3 a.m, vegan sausages. So we're catering to everyone.
But
what
is the added benefit of this system?
What's the real advantage here? Because this isn't just about the sausages.
No, in many ways, it's barely about the sausages at all.
It's as little about the sausages as it is possible for a tap dispensing sausages to be.
That's right.
Yes.
The benefit is that time will finally mean something.
Exactly, finally, because up until now, I mean, what is time?
What is it?
It's meaningless, it's guff, there's nothing there,
There's nothing there.
It's built on, whoa!
You know, what time is it?
Oh, it's 3.
3 what?
Well, 3 since it was 12.
12 what?
Well, 12 since the time it was 12 before that. You see, there's nothing there.
It's completely meaningless.
Yes.
It's got no anchor in reality.
Exactly.
But now, time will mean the type of sausage that's available on the tap. And so now we can turn to the clocks and take all of those unstable numbers off of there and now put some nice stable sausages on there.
Exactly.
So instead of 6 o'clock, it'll just be Latvian bratwurst o'clock, or in the new system, cheese kransky o'clock. But it doesn't matter, it doesn't change anything in your mind. You still know you're just 6 sausages away from tomorrow.
Exactly. And now if somebody says to you, oh, how long you been here? You'll be able to say, well, I've been here for ages. Sausages.
Exactly.
Finally, exactly, yes.
But the pattern doesn't end there.
Oh, no.
No. What's the next thing in the pattern?
Well, we've already got a gas tap.
We've got a liquids tap.
Yes. We've got a solids tap.
Yes, that sausage tap. That's right. And so what's the next thing in the pattern?
A magma tap. That's right. Every house will have a tap dispensing fresh running magma.
We'll actually have both a hot magma tap and a cold magma tap. But just a word of warning, that cold magma tap is still going to be pretty hot.
Exactly. But what is the advantage of this magma tap? Well, what if we were to tell you that it's connected to a fantastical device of our own devising, a machine capable of manufacturing anything the human frame requires, using only the ingredients that are already inside magma. We've already proven that they're all there, so then it's just like Lego, isn't it? You've just got to separate them apart into their bits and put it back together into stuff. It's not hard.
No. But we will admit that the technology isn't 100% there just yet.
No, it's way off, yeah.
But in the meantime, the first generation of people who move onto the island, they'll still have the magma tap. They'll just have to use it for other purposes, such as, say, extracting hot rocks for keeping your drink warm.
Or for use as paperweights for important documents, or at least documents so important that you don't want them to blow away, but not so important that you care if they become irredeemably burned.
That's right. Now, with magma being piped directly into your home and magma flowing down the street,
And magma squirting through the air randomly.
you might be asking yourself, are there going to be any risks?
Yes, of course there are going to be risks. There are risks with any new technology. There are probably risks when we invented the hat.
That's right, but now we laugh at the hat.
We laugh at the hat for
And-
hours on end.
Non-stop,
Yes.
and its risks associated.
Yes, indeed, we think nothing of them.
That's right, and so it is with magma. So, what are the risks involved with magma?
Well, number one, becoming mesmerised by it. Yes, because how does the human body respond to fire? Well, we respond with mesmerisation. The merest glimpse at it and we become transfixed, even as it burns towards us closer, closer, closer. Oh, sure, when it catches onto our skin, we snap out of it, look down for a second, but then we fall back under its spell, even as it burns higher, 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 until it consumes our very eyes. Ah! Aha, yes, but then we have the fire just where we want it, do we not? Aha, yes, because once our eyes are gone, then we are free to stop, drop, and possibly roll. Aha, yes, truly. We see that it was the fire's arrogance that was the ultimate fire extinguisher. Aha, yes,
And you might also be wondering, is there a risk I will have my face melted off? Well, we can confidently say that no. Faces don't melt, they combust.
Exactly, and so it is proven that you will be totally safe in this society. But once we know that you are safe in society, what is the next thing that you desire?
A just society. And so, like many of the best music festivals, the Magma Island will have a no dickheads policy.
But we are at risk, are we not, of attracting the wrong type of person. You know the kind of people that I'm talking about. I'm talking about alternative medicine types. You know, the kind of people who will take one look at magma and think, oh, well, this is ancient. This is full of minerals. This has got an orange glow. It must be some sort of ancient cure-all, and they'll try and scoop a little bit in a jar to sell in their shops that smell like sandals. You know the kind of people I'm talking about, the kind of clueless rubes, the kind of pathetic idiots who somehow think that a little bit of magma is going to solve all their problems. It's sad.
When clearly it takes a lot of magma to do that.
You need heaps, exactly, yes.
And so, that will be out.
They won't be allowed,
No.
yes, exactly.
And at the Magma Island, we will also address the problem of inequality. But we won't do it using some fanciful means like communism, which always fails because it fails to take into account the unique and beautiful differences between all people.
We will take those differences into account by removing them surgically.
Yes. Take, for example, our solution to the problem of gender inequality, which exists because people have different kinds of genitals. Presenting the cloaca. Yes, it's a urethra. It's an anus. It's a birthing canal. But it's not 3 holes. It's one compact hole that, if installed on all people on the island, will tidy up the back, consolidate the front into a single monogenital, which to my mind is a bit reminiscent of the volcano.
Yes, the Earth's monogenital.
But you might be asking, but will this solve inequality overnight? Of course not. It's a 2-day surgery. Plus, people are more than just their bits. I mean, they're vastly different. You know, they've got arms and legs and faces, which we will also trim down until everyone is roughly the same size, and then we will cover them with these featureless nubs until everyone looks exactly the same. Good luck being prejudiced now. What's that? You won't give me a job? Well, how do you know you're not giving you a job?
Yes, and this plan, wherein everybody becomes essentially a starfish, we are calling our first 5-point plan. One of an eventual 5 5-point plans that we are working towards under our 5 5-point plan. We think that the next 5-point plan will involve actual pointing, but with 5 fingers for bigger and more intense gaze redirection. Look over there. How about that? How can you not? And so on.
Now, it just occurred to me, Jerry, that the next slide I put in before consulting with you.
Oh.
And I wanted to apologise and
No,
run
no,
it by you.
Martin. No, you go. You absolutely go for it, Martin. This is your show. I'm just along for the ride.
It's a perfect collaboration between the two of us, but I just wanted to apologise. So it's something that's very close to my heart.
Yes.
Animals do it.
Yes.
Insects do it. Mm-hmm. I just thought, why don't humans eat wood?
Oh, okay.
I just think, it'd just be so easy. I mean, you got a branch, you got a brunch.
Yeah.
And I just think, we in the world have got to diversify the kind of food that we're eating because, if something collapses, then we got to have something else to go to. Okay, think about it like this. You give a man a fish,
Yeah.
he eats for a day. But you give a man a fishing rod, he'll eat a second time that day.
I think that's great, Martin. Sorry if I looked like I was a little bit distracted while you were talking there. Then I was having a funny thought. I was thinking, what it would be like to be somebody watching tonight and seeing you and thinking, oh, what's with this guy? He thinks he wants to build a new colony out of the ground. He thinks everybody should eat wood. I mean, what is he, like some kind of a termite or something?
No. I mean, it's just...
No, I didn't mean anything by it, man.
It's just a strange thing to say.
Well, it was.
I don't know what to say just because I've never heard that one before.
No, I'm really sorry, Martin. I don't know why I said it. Actually, now that I think about it, but it was just a joke.
What do you think, that I've just been hollowed out by termites and they're controlling my body like some kind of mech warrior?
No.
Well, let me tell you, nothing could be further from the truth.
Martin.
So, you know what? I'll forget it. I was going to show you I had this idea for a political system, but I feel like that's just going to feed into your little conspiracy theories.
Well, I'd love to hear it, actually.
No, look, there was an idea where I thought the leader could give birth to everybody in the colony, but you know what?
I was actually going to suggest that.
No, and I thought also that they could have a grossly distended abdomen, but you know what? So forget it. Let's just move on to showing people what the island's going to look like. All right.
Okay, no.
So there it is.
Hang on,
that's the
no,
island there.
hey, wait, Martin,
And,
no, stop, Martin, wait, what's that?
Well, that's the water.
There, in the middle there.
Yeah, well, it looks weird because it doesn't have you don't see the squirty pipe.
No,
there.
Martin, no, it's got form, Martin. It's got form.
Oh, yeah, I suppose it's got a little bit.
No, it's got heaps of form, Martin. We said it wouldn't have any form, and it's got heaps of form, Martin.
No, I mean, it's
not supposed to be like this.
No, it's fine, Jerry.
No, it's not fine. No, look, what is this, architecture or something?
No, let's not say things that we don't mean.
No, I
Jerry,
do.
I mean, come on, Jerry. I mean, you knew deep down that it wasn't entirely practical to have no form whatsoever.
Oh, I see that's how it is. As soon as something even becomes the slightest bit impractical, we just give up on it now, do we, Martin?
No.
No, Martin,
Jerry.
I think I'm going to have to go and have a good think about this because I am not...
Jerry, it'll be fine. Don't worry about that.
No, Martin.
Oh, Jerry.
No, I'm sorry. I have to go and
Jerry,
have a cup of tea or something. Calm down.
Sorry, everybody. It's just, don't worry about that. It's just, this is engineering, emotions run high. And he'll be fine, he's just cooling off. So look, let's just keep going with the presentation and it's nothing to worry about. So, will this magma island make global warming worse? Well, I mean, we're taking magma out from under the earth up into the atmosphere. Of course it's going to make it a lot worse, But we feel like that's a problem that we could absolutely solve using more magma. Let's see, our solution to that would be we're going to use this pincer pipe thing here. We're going to drill into either pole and then using the pressure of the magma, it will shoot out the back and it will shoot us into a further orbit away from the sun, allowing us to keep a bit cooler and not have to change our way of life. You all right, Jareth?
No, not really, Martin, no. Feeling a bit upset. Actually, been doing a lot of thinking up the back there, and come to some rather distressing conclusions, and I'm feeling a bit depressed. And you know what? I think I owe you an apology. I think maybe you were right. Maybe my no form idea was impractical, as you put it.
No, I don't think so. I think that it's something that we could absolutely solve.
No, Martin, no. No, we can't solve it. But you know what? Actually, Martin, I think that in some respects, maybe your pizza pipe earth blasting ideas are a little impractical as well. Actually, Martin, but I think maybe that's the point.
No,
maybe we
I don't think
deliberately
so.
come up with ideas that we can never actually do because we're scared, Martin. We're scared of what would happen if we ever actually had to do one of these dumb ideas because we never actually made anything, have we, Martin? We've never made anything.
That's not true. I've made something.
No, you haven't, Martin.
Yes, I have.
What?
Well, I've made one thing.
Is it nothing, is it?
No, right, I've made two things then.
Well, what, Martin? What have you ever made?
Look, Jerry, we're in the middle of a presentation.
No,
I'll
Martin.
speak to you after the presentation.
No, I need to see it now. If you've made something, I think I deserve to see it.
All right, Jerry, walk with me. Sorry, everyone. All right. Here you go, Jerry.
What is that? Is that what I think it is?
Yes, I dug a hole down to the magma. Don't ask me why I'm so good at digging.
Can I touch it?
No, Jerry, don't.
I forgot.
Oh, excuse me, I'm getting a phone call. Hello?
Hello, can I speak with Jerry, please?
Yes, who's this?
It's Elon.
Elon who?
Elon Musk?
Yes, Jerry, it's for you.
Jerry, Elon here.
Hello, Elon?
Look, I've been watching your presentation from the other side of the globe, and I love it.
Wait, even the bit where the leader has a grossly distended abdomen?
That's my favorite bit.
Wait, what about the bit where everybody gets a cloaca, even if they didn't ask for it?
I lied before, that's my favorite bit. And I want to work with you to make every part of your vision a reality.
Oh, so you just want to pay us to just keep coming up with these ideas and...
Oh, no more ideas. We'll just start making it. For real.
Okay.
You'll have a team of as many engineers as you want, and an unlimited budget.
All right. Well, how can we say no?
Oh, there's no we. I don't want Martin. That eating wood idea, the guy seems like a termite to me. I'm sending that little boy submarine to come pick you up. See ya.
No, Martin, no.
Jerry,
This
what a
is
good opportunity.
No, this is not what it was supposed to be
No,
like.
don't worry about me. It's not my first rodeo. I've been through this kind of thing. It doesn't matter.
Well, I was going to finish the presentation and we were going to build the island together.
Jerry, no, look, you've got a little boy submarine to catch. I'm going to go finish the presentation and you should take off. And, don't you worry about...
Just careful.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Sorry, everybody. The lights are all off, but I'll attempt this. All right, so it seems like the Magma Island idea is off the table for now. But was there anyone that was interested in new types of compliments?
Martin, I have an idea for a new compliment. You make me feel like a man up to his knees in bauxite.
What?
Because I stand in awe of you. No, it's true. I told Elon to piss off. I called him up real quick and I said, piss off, Elon. I said, I don't need you. I already have an island where there are no dickheads and anything is possible. It's called That Stage with my friend and mentor and friend, Mr. Martin Chrysalis.
Jerry Agamemnon Roberts. I'd be in my right mind to tell you a scary story. Jerry, the scariest thing I can think of is me not getting
Careful,
to
you
work
can't
with
see where
you.
you're going. Go forward into the magma.
Why put that hole
Burns.
there?
It burns, Martin. Oh, it's stripping away everything that makes me me.
Jerry!
Wait, something's happening. The raw potential in the magma is combining with my innate sense of self and I'm becoming something new. I'm becoming a roll of doggy poo bags and a pencil sharp and a sticky tape to a corkscrew. Martin, do you realise what this means?
What?
I've become a being of pure function. Oh, happy day!
Jerry, are you okay?
I can honestly say I have never felt better in my life.
Jerry, do you want to finish the presentation?
With you, Martin? Absolutely.
So, who wants to invest? We're not set up for online, so if you do, please send an envelope full of cash to the address on the screen. Thank you. Good night.
I think that went well.
Yeah, better than last time.